Why play Udyr Jungle? Well, he is a brilliant duelist, he's great at split pushing, he has good mobility around the map, and his ganks are pretty solid. However, he can get kited, especially by heavy slows, and he does rely on good macro and his team moving around him. Udyr's passive is that he has no ultimate and instead has 4 basic abilities. Each ability enters him into a stance which empowers his next 2 basic attacks. In addition, periodically, after he enters the stance, he can cast it again for an additional effect, and using the empowered attacks reduces the cooldown of being able to use these additional effects. Udyr's Q enters Claw stance, which makes his next 2 attacks gain bonus range and deal bonus damage. In addition, he gains bonus attack speed and bonus damage on hit for 4 seconds. If this ability is empowered, his next 2 attacks deal even more damage and chain lightning nearby foes. Udyr's W is his defensive stance, which makes his next 2 basic attacks gain lifesteal and heal him. Additionally, he grants himself a shield for 4 seconds. When this ability is empowered, he gets even more shield strength, heals himself, and gains even more lifesteal and heal. Udyr's E is his Stampede stance, which makes his basic attacks pounce on the target and stun them. Additionally, Udyr becomes ghosted and gains bonus movement speed, which decays for 4 seconds. When enhanced, he gains additional attack range, bonus movement speed, and becomes CC immune for 1.5 seconds, which is a great way to simply run through your opponent's CC effects. Udyr's R is his Storm stance, which makes his next 2 basic attacks deal additional damage to nearby enemies. Additionally, he creates a blizzard around himself which deals damage and slows nearby enemies. When empowered, the circle comes off of him and chases a nearby enemy for massive amounts of damage to anyone in the circle. In addition, the strength of the slow is also increased. For combos, start with E into an auto attack and then while they're stunned, walk slightly past them and attack again. From here, use R into 2 auto attacks before activating R again into 2 auto attacks, and from here keep rotating through your forms, attacking twice between each. For matchups, Udyr is great into champions he can chase down and deal tons of sustained damage to, and he can struggle against junglers who are very strong duelists. For runes, take this, Conqueror gives you great damage and sustain. For build order, start Blue Monster and Pot into Leandry's and tier 2 boots. After this, Ajaxios and Frozen Heart are great pickups before finishing a build with any of these as needed. For skill order, start Q, then R, then W, then E, before maxing R, then W, then E. For summoners, take Ghost and Smite. Starting the game, you have a few different options. The safest option is always to do a full jungle clear to make sure you're as strong as you can be to fight for Scuttlecrab if needed. Otherwise, you can do both buffs and one other camp into a quick level 3 gank. Udyr's quick level 3 ganks, especially when his opponents are still level 2, are incredibly strong. At this point in the game, simply being able to run at your opponent is amazing, and if they usually rely on a CC effect, you can simply empower your E and run through it. After a successful gank where you chase your opponents out of lane or kill them, it's great to convert into an objective. Udyr is amazing at solo killing early game objectives, so keep focusing on them. Enter in the mid game, you're a great skirmisher and split pusher, so either look for small fights or push lanes for map control and convert into objectives. Entering late game team fights, you can play in 2 different ways. Firstly, you can play your front line, where you're able to throw out tons of damage by using your R while stunning anything going for your backline. Otherwise, you can play the front line diving their backline. With being able to ignore crowd control effects with your empowered E, simply running at their backline and stunning their carry is great value. From here, with your empowered R, you should be able to easily remove them from the map.